What's good? What's going on, everyone? Good morning. It is now about 5:45 in the morning. We'll be working for about an hour here. I'll be quiet. I'll be talking kind of quiet, so hopefully you can hear me. I have the microphone pretty much right up to my face here, so you should be able to hear my voice, and I should be able to talk quietly without waking everyone up in the house here. So we're about to get started. I'm not really sure what I'm going to make today, but I'm now back to work, and not just back to work with glass. I mean, I've been back to work with glass, but um, I actually started back with some of my. Hold on a second. I mean, Let me mute all that there. So yeah, I got started back to work with some of my clients. Was able to get to work last Friday. That was the first day getting back to work, and did a car detailing job for one of my friends, which was really nice. I thought I was going to be a whole week out of work. My wife just had surgery last Monday, so it has been a whole week of her recovery as of yesterday, and she's doing really well. Her recovery went really well. She's actually mobile. She's up again and able to move around on her own, which is a good thing. The very first few days, I was having to help her get up in and out of bed and to use the restroom and then to get back to bed, and that's about as far as she was able to go. And gradually, a little bit, day after day, she was able to finally to move around a little bit more, to utilize her walker, and then by Saturday, I think was the first day that I noticed that she was actually like walking around without the walker, and actually up and around a lot more. And then Sunday, she was up and moving around without even needing her cane, and I thought that was amazing. So that was really good. And so it's been a whole week. She still needs my help here and there with cooking meals and getting things like that. But other than that, she's pretty much getting back to being her self again, and being able to take care of herself as best as she's able to, even with her health and her disabilities and things. So let's do a quick reveal, I guess. We were working on these yesterday. Oh, do I have the light hooked up anymore? Okay, I think we got the light plugged in again. I had to unhook everything the other day because I was vending, and I took everything out. Alright, we should have better lighting now. Uh-oh, did it not work? There we go. Alright, so this is the first reveal. It's not that great. It should have had a spiral coming all the way through into the middle here, and it just was on the edges, just on the outside there. So I don't know what happened with that, but it should have come all the way through in the middle. I was using our spiral here, and it goes all the way up to the tip, but for some reason the ghost white just completely vanishes. It just I guess that's why they call it ghost, right? So this was the next one that I made, and I ended up, instead of using this spiral, which I'm not happy with, it's not coming out, And like I was saying, I really liked how drawing the lines on, how that to me looked a little bit better. So this is withdrawing the ghost white onto the tip of the glass first. And this here has a much better spiral. And then I added some dots of color in there to kind of represent like little things floating in the universe. And so yeah, that one came out pretty cool. But as you can see, that spiral came through all the way to the other end. So I might need to just shorten the spiral some. And then there won't be any helix on that back end. So we'll be able to play with that. So I might work with some more galaxy glass today. I also know that it's time for Christmas. And so we're going to maybe make some Christmas stuff too. I do have a couple little candy cane. I've got some candy canes here for earrings. So I have a couple candy canes. I have a little Christmas tree I made last year. I might work on some things like this. But I've been really having fun with this galaxy glass and just playing around with the spirals and things. So let's do that. I've figured out how to get them into a production style where they're pretty quick. So let's actually time these right now. Let's start the timer. We're at 6 minutes in right now. So let's get started here. 6 minutes in, maybe 7. All right, so we'll start with the 16 millimeter rod. Oh, and like I was saying earlier, I'm really grateful to be able to get back to work. You know, now that my wife has recovered and doing a lot better, I can leave her for a few hours during the day and feel comfortable with that, and knowing that she's mobile and she's able to get around the house and stuff. So I had another client yesterday, and you know, she is so awesome. She ended up paying me for last week, even though I wasn't there on Monday. And she just wanted to make sure that her family is still doing well, and she really appreciates my work and what I do for her. And yeah, she's really amazing. She's a real sweet lady. I wish I could do more for her. All right, so what I'm thinking is, instead of having the lines coming all the way through to where you see it coming up in the front and the back, we're just going to make sure those lines are directly in the back. And we're just going to make them really short. And we're not going to connect them, so we're going to keep them kind of close together to where there's like a little opening, a vortex in the middle there. We're just going to do 4 lines just like that. Real short, real simple. Alright, so now that's all sunk in. I'm going to grab it with this piece of glass here. We're going to put the heat towards the back side here. So then I attach it to the punty so I can hold on to it. I'll start spinning my right hand more than my left, and that'll start to spiral all that color that I added there, and we'll keep it nice and gradual. Don't want to spiral it up too much. And I keep the heat towards the back side over here, not the tip. That way I'm not spinning the tip too much. And we allow all the colors on that back end to really spin with it. So now we got that ghost white laid on there. So these are made differently. So when I add the opals go on the front. I'll have to have the spiral push more back here. I didn't add any sort of planets or anything to this. They could be made different ways, I guess. I could keep this vortex in. Alright. I'm just trying to think of the different, like, I could build it up from both sides. Either have this as the front or have this as the front. Once the pendant is finished, there's different ways that it can be built up. We can even put the planets in the background, and they could be even further out, back behind the nebulas and stuff. So it all depends on if I put an opal in there for a planet, or if I draw planets there first, and I want to build it up a little bit differently. Or you draw that spiral onto a different piece of glass and then you sandwich it on. So you can either draw the spiral directly on here, you could draw the spiral directly onto another piece of glass, add layers where you put the planets in between, then smash the spiral in between there, and then put the cobalt. And that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to add the cobalt. Let me make sure I got enough oxygen. Oh my gosh. That's right. I'm feeling like the oxygen was low, and I'm out of oxygen again. I've been blowing glass so much that I just burnt through my oxygen again. We might actually have to try out the oxygen concentrator and see if I can get my new torch, my miner, going. Maybe we can play with some soft glass or something. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this piece. Oh my gosh, I'm completely out of oxygen. I'm just working on whatever pressure's left in the tanks and the oxygen bottle here. So instead of working for an hour, I'm going to pretty much be letting you go here. I'm sorry about that. But I do want to let you know future plans. So coming up real soon, I really would like to make another chess set. And I do believe I have sheets of stained glass. And so I might actually try to do some stained glass work. And cutting the glass into squares and making a chessboard and soldering all the squares together, wrapping them in the copper and then soldering them all. I know a little bit about stained glass. I'm not a pro or nothing like that. I've done a few pieces, but not very many. Hey, what's going on? Who's here? Is that not so fast? Good morning, good morning. So I just got started thinking we'd be working for an hour until I need to start waking up my son and getting him ready for school. And it turns out I'm completely out of oxygen. I never check my pressure when I just start blowing glass. Another thing is I never really turn off my bottles. So hopefully I'm not losing oxygen just by leaving them open and on all the time. I probably am. I'm sure I am. We'll see if we can finish this. So now this is going to be a fun little race against time, or against the pressure that's left in the bottle. And we'll see if I can even sink all this in and melt this in with what's left. There's a lot of blue to melt right now too. I don't know if it's going to be possible. Oh, I haven't even checked the emails yet. So let me check that actually. Oh my gosh. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this. There's not enough fuel in my oxygen to do this. I'll have to get a hold of my friend again and see if he can help me, which he'll probably be into, because I think he's like looking for work and he's needing some funds, and I pay him like $10 to $20 every time to just drive me a couple miles down the way to go get oxygen in his truck. They won't let me deliver the oxygen in my minivan. You have to have a truck with the open cab in the back. Can I pull this off? I keep on putting more oxygen, which means I'm just emptying out this tank. I don't know if I can pull this off. Excuse me, sorry. So I'm speaking really quietly too, because my whole family is asleep right now, and I'm trying to just crank this out if I can. I don't know. We got the punny on. Let's see if we can flame cut this off. Do I have enough pressure in here? Yeah, and thank you for the reminder. I do appreciate it. I always forget to check my emails. I guess emails aren't important to me, but I really do need to utilize the emails more. And it's something that I really want to focus on this year with business and getting my wholesale accounts going again. I've been doing a lot of retail. Pretty much my whole glass blowing career has been wholesale. As soon as I started getting into glass in 95, it took me a good year or so until I was really, really comfortable with showing my glass. So I worked between 95, 96 making glass, and then by like 97, I think I set up at the flea market here, and that was the first time I ever really like did public showings. And then I started finding that there were shops around who needed, you know, we used to make a lot of paraphernalia, a lot of smoking accessories. I don't have any more oxygen. That's it. This is going to become a magnet, I think. We're just going to leave it like this because I can't put a loop on here. I do not have enough pressure to even melt this knob down now. So yeah, I've been doing wholesale for a long time. It's something that I figured out what my bottom line was right away, which really was helpful, and then figuring out what my retail was, which is simply just, doubling or tripling the price of your wholesale and keeping it competitive with those that you were wholesaling to, and just making sure that your prices were pretty much there as well. Maybe I'll just keep it on the punty, and then we can come back to it later and melt it. So I'm just going to set this off to the side over here. We'll put this in the jar of the broken glass. We'll just use the broken glass as a way to set it so it doesn't fall over or anything. So almost looks like a little UFO. Check that out. I've made many UFOs. I do like making UFOs and alien pieces and stuff like that. But we're out of oxygen. So that's sad. I was hoping to make a whole bunch of cool galaxy glass. I made this one yesterday. This one came out cool. I think it came out pretty cool. Let me move this light over some. Might be better lighting from that angle there. So that one's got like a bunch of little planets and little dots of glass in there. So it looks kind of cool. Yeah, so these are basically, I'm working on the galaxy glass. So that's what I'm trying to do, is do the mini galaxies in the glass pendants here. A lot of people do the galaxy beads or the galaxy marbles. So I'm doing the best that I can with these. But I'm out of oxygen, so I can't work. But yeah, learning how to wholesale right away, that really taught me my bottom line, which then, I was able to figure out, okay, if I can make these in this amount of time, then I need to be able to at least make this much per hour, and then plus it should be able to cover the material costs. And, per piece, when you're really, really thinking about it, material costs, there isn't too much cost in these materials. If you're doing solid color, then it's definitely a lot more expensive. But when I can buy a 5-foot 16 millimeter rod, and I can convert that into when we're talking simple pendants, and convert that into like 75 mushroom pendants, like these ones here. I think I can get about 75 of them off of one rod, and the rods run me at $10. Then you're talking like, what is that, 7.5 cents per clear glass, and then a little bit of color. So, it's really not much material cost when it comes to it. So investing in glass is a good thing, but it's the experience. It's being able to know how to use the torch and the flame to adjust the flame, to be able to use a good oxygen to propane ratio, and know what you really need and what you want for certain colors and for certain applications that you're working with. Sometimes we're just working on small areas. You want a smaller, more tighter flame. Sometimes you wanted a little bit of a softer flame with more propane. And so, all those kind of things come into play. And when you're talking about the cost of glass, it's not really much. It's really the knowledge and the experience behind the glass artist is what you're really paying for, you know. So when I first started making the mushrooms, the first one ever took me 45 minutes. And now they're under 3 minutes, easily 3 minutes, 2.5. When I'm talking, they might take me 5 minutes. And that's a horrible example of a mushroom. That's why it's on the table. That's one that didn't make it to the cutting board. That's like a giveaway one. And then this one here, this was supposed to be a galaxy, but it really didn't do much of anything. It's more just like a blue, really beautiful blue pendant with this spiral. Uh, I don't know, like it's framed in a cool little spiral outline. Someone will like it. Someone will want that. But it wasn't what I was expecting. And that one was made with this spiral, the pre-made spiral, which I figured if I put all these lines on there, you'd be able to see it all the way through to the tip. But I guess it just clears out. It just like vanishes. And that's the ghost white that I use. So yeah, maybe that ghost white just completely vanishes at some point and goes to that clear when it thins out, like that tip right there. Then it's really, really, it thins out like that. And it goes clear. So drawing them on really helps to create these spirals here. I don't have any of the other galaxy glass that I made from the other day to show off, because it's all in the inventory now with all my other glass ready for vending on Sundays. I might try to do a market on Saturday. We'll see. I don't know. But I don't have any more oxygen, guys. I can't work. I can't set up the other torch yet because my oxygen concentrator is way too loud. So I don't want to wake everyone up. So I'm just going to let you guys go. I'm going to go do some dishes, clean up a little bit, and get a hold of my friend here in a little while. And that's about it. I'm going to let you guys go. The cats are also bugging. They just woke up my wife and she yelled at them. So I'm going to go feed them and make sure that they don't wake up anyone else. You guys have a good day. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll come back and we'll share some stories. We'll do some more glass. And hopefully we'll make some Christmas glass very soon. All right. Have a good one. I'm out.